We now call to order the historic town of Eatonville regular council meeting. Would you please verify for the count?
Yes. Councilwoman Randolph? Here. Councilman Knapp? Excuse me. Councilman Daniels? Vice Mayor Washington?
Present.
And Mayor.
Here, please stand for a moment of silence, followed by the pledge of allegiance. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The next item is the approval of agenda with the following adjustments. The discussion from 6:30 be added as a discussion item right after citizen participation. And the 2025-30 item from renaming Elizabeth Park from 6:30 being added as number 4 under your consent agenda items. With that, is there a motion to approve?
Second.
It's been moved by Vice Mayor and seconded. Okay. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed. All right, we are ready for a presentation for the 2026-37th annual Zora Neale Hurston Festival. Mr. Deere, let's go.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, folks and those in the audience. Mr. Daniels asked me to present a high overview of the 27th festival. And so I'm not going to speak specifically about the outdoor festival of the arts. We've been working with the police to make some adjustments in the layout, but I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you about the season because, of course, the Zora Neale Hurston Festival of the Arts and Humanities is known for much more than just the outdoor festival. And so I want to take this opportunity to talk to you a little bit about what are the highlights of the festival. And there is a copy. What you have here is a copy of the advertisement that came out in the Arts Week magazine, the preview of all the art and cultural things that are happening in the season. And I want to talk with you a little bit about what you can expect for the
Is that loud enough for? Okay, I'm making sure.
and everyone hear me all right? Or do I need to use my outside voice? So each festival, I think, over the years has its own, it's a good, we do a good event. But sometimes there's a festival that really lifts up higher. What we have found in terms of the evaluations individually, as well as from people outside, they really want to know more about Zora Neale Hurston, and they want to know more about Eatonville. It's like we have to go back and reintroduce Eatonville as a historic black town and Zora Neale Hurston to a new generation. Right? And so that's really what we're doing. That's what we're doing with this festival. It means that, for example, the academic conference, as some people might say, nod their heads and say, "I'll sleep." We actually are going to do a mobile tour starting with in Maitland, because of course Eatonville comes out of Maitland. We're going to be doing a lunch that is inspired by recipes of Zora Neale Hurston's research. And the luncheon speaker will be Dr. Fred Opie, who did the research, so that everything is authentic. On Thursday, also, we will be having a panel that presents from the quilting program that the library did with Dr. Finley and Eatonville residents. We will be having on Friday. Our sessions will be at St. Lawrence. People really enjoy being in that space with the murals. And then for the first time, we will be asking people to come for a step show and stroll, which means that we will be extending from 6 to 8. Then on Saturday, we're doing an all-white party with Maeve's preaching Frankie Beverly. He's the late Frankie Beverly, but we will be doing an all-white party with Jubu. And I understand that this may be dating, but this program is supposed to be the bomb. All right, on Sunday, we're doing a line dance extravaganza. So that's that. And then I wanted to talk just a little bit about the Cotton Club Reimagined. That is going to be Gayla from, and some of us here will have to take a nap because on Saturday evening it's 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. All right. And it is reimagined. You know, the Cotton Club, we could not go in the Cotton. The attorney could go to the Cotton Club. And we are reimagining this, and we will be at what's called the old university, used to be called the University Club. And frankly, maybe 25 years ago, we would be able to go there either unless we want to wait, right? But it was a fantastic venue, and we are going to have a very good time. So that is really the overview. I'm expecting that the first week in November, CAO that will come back and ask for the approval of the outdoor festival map. I can tell you that we have been given permission and have already reserved the historic Rock Humphrey High School campus for a part of our outdoor festival. For those of you who are older than a few years, who know that for decades we used to have festivals on that side as well as going down the street. So it promises to be a very exciting time, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you about more than just the outdoor festival. And there were some comments, if that's all right.
Sorry. Any question? All right, thank you.
I did have a question. The festival will be located where, on the Huntington property or on the street this year?
On both sides. You know, in other words, we go back to the format that we've had for decades. We're having on the campus, specifically the international marketplace, not international food court. You know, we will go, it's really the same, it's essentially the same layout that we have used previously, that we've used previously. So down the street as well as.
Okay, and my last question is the admission fee. Will there be an admission fee this year?
All right, for the people who do them, some people, no addition. All children, no matter where they come from, will be free. On Saturday, it's $20 ticket for adults, and on Sunday, $20. If you want 2 days, it's $30. If you want VIP, and it's pretty the same.
Thank you.
And just let mayor and council know that MOU we stand by. We'll bring that to the first council meeting in November. That will be for adequate time to make any adjustments on the machine.
All right, thank you. All right, the next item is discussion of the 30-day work week. Councilwoman.
Okay, this too is an item that has been, I think it's third go round. I just want to have a better understanding about what this is all about. And I just want the council members to understand. This is, item is about establishing a work from home policy.
Oh, forgive me. I missed citizen participation
Okay.
on the agenda. I apologize.
Doing the workshop before we go into.
I was gonna put it, I said right after citizen participation. Yes, I'm sorry. I looked down and saw it. I apologize.
right. First citizen Joyce Hart.
Good evening again. First, I would like to thank Councilman Daniels, former Mayor Cole, and David for attending my aunt's school. Thank you. Number two, to the council members, I understand the rage about the blind side. I get it. I said, oh, is this a campaign video? No, it's about what we all knew about, which we didn't, but it was very nice. I understand it. I respect your expression about it. It's like we're being treated like one of us, like we just have no power except complaining about stuff. Okay, but I want to say two things. If I had to choose and was forced to work with people, I must admit that I would work with the two people that were chosen, Baker Barrios, who I thought was the devil, and Terry Prather, because I think Ms. Thomas and I pinned him up at one point and said, "You can work with us." And then a few weeks later, I really pinned him up and said, "We need you to work with us." And he said, "Joyce, I'm in this fight with you." I had no idea how much he was in it until we got the news. But I would like to say, Councilwoman Randolph, thank you for coming to some of the sessions. I was surprised at the first session of Envision Eatonville. I talked to John Slavens, who's one of the managing partners, and I said, listen, we ain't handling square. Everybody's always coming in telling us what we gotta be. We are historic. We are a living artifact, which is not my word. It's one of the, I think it's, there's a Melissa in the Southern Property Law Center, one of the lawyers. And we are. I said, we should be the soul food capital of the world. We should do this, we should do that. And so John Slavens, I said, this spoke to him. Eatonville must not lose its soul. So 18 months later, he's like, Joyce, I put that in my office, we put it on the wall. We worked around that thing. We listened to all the citizens that came out, and more came out for that than come to the meetings. And we're like, can you guys please come to the meetings? I mean, the council meetings. The citizens came out, Councilwoman Randolph was there, and I was actually surprised at the final rendering, which is a starting point of how to develop not only Kennedy Boulevard, but also the Underwood property. So I feel like they were listening. They'll still make $1 billion, even though people keep saying it's free, nothing's free. But my goal at the end of the day is to make sure that we still own at least half that property. And I mentioned it to Mr. Creighton, like, I want you to think about this and come back with what percentage do you think we're gonna own? Because we may have totally different ideas, but we don't have to have an internal overseer. Even though, is that my 3 minutes? Ms. Thomas?
You can have.
Keep yielding your. We, I don't feel that the way we are currently constructed, we are capable of overseeing ourselves in this project. But I think with some guidance, it should still belong to us, except for there will be some businesses that will do their own stuff anyway. I just wanted to say that if we have to go that route, we have to go that route, but maybe not. I'm gonna keep pushing for us in some of our places, and I'm gonna continue to talk to people who disagree with all of it, like John Beecham and Julian Johnson, because their voices need to be heard. And I did talk to John and said, come to the meeting on Friday and don't call anybody names. He said, I won't. And he came and he spoke appropriate, and I'm grateful for that, because everybody needs to be included. There are citizen stewards of our community, of which I consider myself one, and others are people that I talk to, and I'm gonna try to keep them engaged in this process. And Mr. Dickens, I am very excited about the order you are trying to do. Every week, Ms. Johnson gets up here with some numbers and says, this doesn't equal this, can somebody answer my questions? Nobody ever answers. So you are the lucky one, because you're a numbers user. Could we please have someone address her concerns? Which is up here every week for that. I think that's it. Yeah, and I'm I'm gonna keep fighting and doing what I do, and I appreciate all of you guys. And Councilman Mack, if I didn't know it before, you are representing the people. You hear us, and I think, take some deep breaths. But I appreciate you. I knew about everybody else, but no, thank you, sincerely, thank you.
Thank you.
Next we have Michelle Ford.
Oh, yeah.
Good evening, everyone, mayor, councilman, councilwoman. Tonight, I just want to touch on a couple of things. The first thing is a remote work program. And basically, I read the information that was in the packet. And I don't agree with what you're trying, the policy that you're putting in. Okay, since COVID happened, you have more people working remote and they're productive. I work remote. I do more work at home than I do in the office because my office is right in my living room. You can look at studies, like that's the other thing I would like for you guys to do. Come back with studies to show us where you are getting your thought process from. Orange County has an amazing policy on remote work, but it starts with the supervisor. It starts with the mayor. So to have the council come in and say, we're gonna limit it to 30 days, I don't think that's the right thing to do, start off with a policy. How about we research other agencies and see what their policies are? And then present that. But tonight, what did I do? I brought you Orange County Government Remote Work Program for you tonight. So you guys can look at this policy, see what you would like to add. But one thing I have to say, you see your budget. You don't pay the employees enough because we don't make enough revenue in this town. That's one incentive for someone to stay here. So think about the decisions that you're making and how it impacts them. It produces a good work environment and production. So before you make a decision on that, I think this council needs to really consider the decisions that they're making and make sure they have the facts behind it. My second concern is this. I am so happy we're getting a full-time permit clerk because it has been hard trying to track down that permit clerk. I am praying that that person will stay and hopefully that person may want remote work from home instead of. And maybe we can start keeping some people. But I think ultimately the policies and managing staff day to day, it goes into hands of Mr. Daniels. And then if him and the mayor have a problem, then I think they should bring it to the council and then you guys deal with it. But there needs to be a separation here. And that's another issue that I have. So my second concern is this. At that meeting, I was so disappointed. We have a president that is a white supremacist. They have them all over here. Make America great again. We know what again is. But to have the council, the way, Mr. Mack, the way you talk to Ms. Gardner, I'm a Black woman. I was upset. That was disrespectful. There's things that you say, and there's things that you say in private. But the way we carried on, all they did was prove to people that we don't know how to govern. We don't know how to do government. I'm using her time.
Who's you?
Yeah, who is,
Yeah, I didn't fill out a paper. That's what I was telling you. I needed a paper.
She didn't fill out a paper. Okay, did you fill out a paper? Who was the other lady?
Oh, yes.
You
yes.
killed the
Oh,
time.
absolutely.
Oh,
Oh, she's over here.
okay. I'm gonna go back. But I didn't like the way you talked. That was rude. Thank you.
Next we have Elder Frank.
Good evening, Mayor. Residents. Critics. First, before I start, I want to thank those who attended our event. Very proud. I also still would like to thank those who did not. For that reason.
We're asking that you are encouraged to attend the 2 events scheduled for this week. Please RSVP at historiceatonvillechamber.org. We ask that you join the monthly chamber coffee break Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, where you can network, relax, and recharge. This month's facilitator is Rose Nance Joseph, the Senior Program Manager of Community Development and Property Protection for Orange County Neighborhood First. Come out and hear about grants and other opportunities for Orange County neighborhoods. This month, we're meeting at Eaton Johnson Center from 8 to 10 a.m. You're invited to a United Healthcare Special Seasonal event on Thursday, October 9th from 11:30 to 1. Get your requests answered face-to-face. Enjoy light refreshments and snacks. Find out if you're missing important health benefits. Volunteers and vendors needed for the 4th annual Eatonville Trunk or Treat. Bring the entire family. Free treats, Kids Corner, Community Resources, Eatonville Police Department. Thank you all again. Will be in attendance again this year. Contact the chamber for vendor questions. We are currently seeking experienced advisory board members. We ask that you please contact the chamber for all advisory boards, 2-year commitment, membership, and partnership questions. We look forward to hearing from you. October 8th is the monthly chamber coffee break, which will be held at Eaton Johnson Center at 8 a.m. On the 9th of October, we're having a United Healthcare questions and answers from 11:30 to 1 at the chamber. On the 31st of this month is our 4th annual, again, Eatonville Trunk or Treat event. And let's see on the, that's November 12th.
If you got it.
Okay, you're right. Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Miss Angela Thomas.
I yield my time to Ms. Joyce.
Yeah, but I didn't finish, so I could say one more thing.
Okay. Now we have Miss Angela Johnson.
It's always my time.
Good afternoon, evening, Mayor, Council, fellow residents of the historic town of Eatonville. Ms. Irby wanted me to state that one thing that she omitted to say was, that the police pension fund is underfunded by $100,000. So, I think that statement is being made. If you take a look at that and probably look at your most recent actuarial reports. So I want to quote, and we were talking with another resident earlier today, that Bruce Mount Jr. stated it probably most appropriately the other night, that he's cautiously optimistic about how we're going to move forward with the relationship with OCPS and Dr. Phillips Charity in the development of the 100 property. And I always say, let's not forget that it's not just the boundary of the property that everyone sees and recognizes that what the school said, but the additional 17 acres that are just north of Calvin Park. One of the things that was asked, in this is in all no disrespect to Mrs. Ware, but a question was asked of the CAO, what research has been done to determine the naming of Elizabeth Park? I don't know the history, but I would ask that you potentially table until you give the staff the opportunity to do the appropriate research before you move forward with your agenda item today. And again, that is no disrespect to Ms. Ware, because I know that she is definitely a pillar in our community. It was mentioned that part of the reasoning for the flash flooding on Wymore is due to the level of the pipe for host time. So at Innovation Way. So my question to staff is, Is that a problem that needs to be mitigated by who's done? Is that a problem that needs to be mitigated by whom? And if it is a problem that needs to be mitigated by a host town, what is the time frame for them mitigating that problem? And when we now talk about moving forward with development on the Hungerford property, I would also have you really beg of you to come together as a board, putting together what our demands are as the elected body for this town. It has been stated at that meeting that the MOU is just the beginning. So it is now your responsibility to come together, to talk with the residents, to ensure that the town is protected. And when I say that, that is protected from the standpoint that the development and the monies that come into that property is not all centered on that property, but there is some benefit to the town as a whole. I know they're talking about an advisory board, so let's pull ourselves, come together, and roll our sleeves up, and let's try to come together and do what's going to be in the best interest of the town as a body. Thank you.
Thank you.
I can't read the first name, but Morris.
I'd like to say thanks for this opportunity. Thanking the mayor and the council for the opportunity. Well, first off, my name is Stan Morrison. I'm born and raised in Orlando, Florida. Found out about Eatonville, and I'll go quick so my 3 minutes don't eat me up. When I found out about Eatonville, I was shocked. I thought Eatonville was equivalent to Washington Shores, in terms of where it came about. And then when I did some research on Eatonville, this place represents Blacks in America, not Blacks just in Eatonville. From a chronological perspective, Eatonville is recorded. If somebody's in here in real estate, real estate, until you record it, it takes precedence. There's about 48 million Blacks in America. This is just my thought. There's with this body fighting such a huge entity, and it's all about economics. It's always been about economics. If there's 48 million Blacks in America, approximately, it might be a little bit more if somebody knows the exact numbers. Eatonville had, when they started to recruit people to this area, they had a newspaper called the Eatonville Speaker, and its motto was endeavor to speak the truth. And on their front page, January 22nd, 1989 edition, on this boldface type, they stated that Negroes solved that great race problem in Eatonville, Florida by securing a home in Eatonville, Florida, a Negro city governed by Negroes. If you can use imagination, it's amazing how much resources we have as Black people. And I want to say this while I sit down, my 3 minutes, at least over half. You all have done one heck of a great job in Eatonville, Florida. I mean, for me being an outsider, I guess I don't live here, man, it is awesome what Blacks coming together. And we argue no more than other people argue. We have no more differences than other people. If everybody agreed, there'd be a problem somewhere. I think everybody's main interest is protecting our town. Y'all got one heck of a responsibility because it represents Blacks again in America. It almost has to go outside the walls of Eatonville. Every Black organization of people say that they represent us should be cars parked outside and around the corner without cameras. Just should be our interest. I heard about the sale on television. I was sitting at the house and I heard it. And for some reason, maybe I don't know because I'm not really a political individual, but how does the hunger for property come about in terms of keep saying all over the news, this is Eatonville's property. Orange County is a trustee on this thing. The Eatonville owns, we keep saying the hunger for property. It's the Eatonville property, whatever y'all decide to do with it. But it's y'all's property, but it represents us. It represents us outside the city limits. And if we market this town outside, there's a lot of organizations. Look how many rich athletes, how many rich singers we have. And I say again, before I sit down, you all have done one heck of a job over here. See, I remember Eatonville when it was dirt roads out there, when the city hall was across the street. I remember all of that. Somebody needs to take a break and walk back and do a recheck. What a great job y'all have done. And we got to come together. We got to quit letting people think we can't work together.
Thank you.
That was it. Sis.
That's it. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
Before you, the consent agenda is Tuesday.
What attention that man don't forget to do. The workshop item 2025-14 is supposed to be discussed.
Oh, I didn't know we were discussing it again.
No discussion.
Oh, you know, we discussed in the workshop?
Not 30-day policy.
Oh, you said.
Oh, I'm sorry, go back to discussion. Thank you. I'm sorry. My apologies. Let's go to discussion first. Wait. Let's move for that motion. Let me go ahead and get those minutes. It is for minutes for the budget hearing, first budget hearing, September 3rd, 2025. The first budget hearing continuation, September 8th, 2025. And the second budget hearing, September 15th, 2025. Now, with that being said, I guess we do have to go back to discussion before that. So keep those dates, those dates for the minutes. I'm going to rescind the motion. Please rescind the motion for the consent agenda.
Never moved.
It was never moved. Thank you. Today is Tuesday, October 7th. All right. Now we're ready for the discussion regarding the work from home, 30-day work from home. Councilwoman Randolph, my apologies.
All right, thank you. This is the third time that this is the third time that this has been discussed. Miss Michelle,
Yes.
thank you very much for bringing those matters to my attention. And I did, do quite a bit of research, even with federal, local governments on work from home. But they do have a policy. This here does not necessarily, it's up to the administration. All we're saying is that we need to have a work from home policy. How the administration decides how they want to do it, how many days, they come up with their own rules as far as the requirements, that's fine. But I just think with as much as going on that we need a work from home policy. I know the county probably has a policy, you know, you all have hundreds, maybe 1,000 or more employees. We only have like a certain small amount of employees here that work for the town. So I just basically want to turn this to the administration. If they don't want to come up with a work from home policy, the only thing I can say is that I weigh in the liabilities and the risks as far as the town is concerned, because we don't have a policy. What do we govern work from home based upon? So that's what this is all about. It says 30 days, but it doesn't have to be 30 days. 30 days does not even have to be in the language. We just need to have a policy. You mentioned yourself that the county has a policy to allow you to work from home. It's the same thing what I expect from the administration. And as a council person, elected official on this board, I have the right to recommend that to the administration. Whether they decide to follow it, then that's basically the administration. If they feel like it's not necessary, then they'll make that decision. But it's just a recommendation. And I would like to have a copy, if all possible, before we leave, on the county policy on work from home. Thank you. That's all I have, Mayor. It was just basically a discussion to determine about this. I think the last time that we did address this, that Mrs. Washington was going to look into this with ADP to see if they had any policies or anything that was established that the town can use as a guideline.
I think it was brought, 2 meetings ago? Didn't we have it attached to agenda? Do you remember?
It was talked about, Mayor, and Councilwoman, I can tell you that what we're working on is not necessarily a remote policy, but it's called a hybrid policy. And that will entail some things that's coming from Orange County. We're looking at other municipalities as well. So with a hybrid policy, doesn't mean that you're just working at home. It's working from home and required to come into the office as well. So we are working on that. If you give us about 30 days, we will have a policy.
Okay, thank you very much.
But in the meantime. So Attorney Shepherd, I have a question for you. So it is on the agenda, on the consent agenda. I mean, it is a request in regards to the 30-day work from home, but I mean, it's administrative.
Yeah, as was suggested even by Councilor Randolph. What this, my understanding is, she's suggesting that we have to have or should have a policy, but understands that administratively, what that policy should be for the employees that you think should be allowed to work at home should be developed by you. That was my understanding. And as for consent, anything on consent can be removed by any member at any time. Or so.
I mean, and I apologize because for when we adopted the agenda, I should have asked that it be removed then. But my mind was putting those things on there instead of putting that off. I would like for 2025-14 to be removed from the consent agenda as a decision item. I don't know if it'll make a difference or not, but
I mean, if it's make the most fair.
so is there a motion to remove 2025 resolution 2025-14 from the consent agenda down to
Move it to,
council decision?
council, yes,
So was it?
so moved.
It's been moved and seconded. You have a question?
So is this going, do we have a policy in place? For this?
Our person, Vice Mayor, our personnel policy is outdated, so it doesn't address that.
So,
No, go ahead.
I'm just saying, why we moving it? I don't understand why we're moving because we don't have a policy. I think she just said she just want a policy in place. Not, I don't know what they're gonna change going to discussion.
This says stop it and immediately.
Oh, okay, you wanna change some language in it?
Yeah, they didn't want to change the language. It doesn't
Yeah,
have to
change
be
the language
30
in it.
days. It can be whatever the administration. The only
Yeah.
thing I'm saying is that we need to have a policy.
Yeah, I think she said.
How you decide how it's gonna be, that's up to the administration.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
you still saying it's still administrative?
I support
You just want a
the
policy in
administration.
place, long as it's known that administratively, the mayor has determination of
Absolutely,
who or what it'll be.
yes.
Okay.
That's what
So the hybrid, that sound good.
Yeah, I like the hybrid.
Okay, the
I
section,
mean,
So you just.
work remotely also.
I think the government.
so we need to reword section 1, or do we want?
Delete it or?
You guys got a motion on the floor. You need to take a motion back.
First you get.
We're-
You guys
in
gonna
this-
put it in for decision.
We're in
It's
discussion.
on the agenda. You guys put a motion on the floor.
Yeah, questions.
But it.
We're within questions
Vice
right
Mayor
now.
asked for discussion.
It's gonna make it, I mean, my thing is you support it. If you support it on consent, you're gonna support it on discussion, why move it? I mean,
And that was my
yeah.
But that's what
question.
she
That's
put
what I
the
said.
motion on the floor to move it to discussion,
But
to decision.
And he
I
asked me
asked
the
the question, it's the question the price back now, saying if we gonna support it on consent, and you gonna support it on the other level. But we gotta change the language.
All right,
it
so
should be the
we'll
same
have to move it. All right. So it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye, all opposed. All right, so the item has been. Now, is there a motion for the remaining items of consent agenda, which is the approval of the council minutes? Those dates were given earlier. The approval of the permit position and the resolution renaming Elizabeth Park. 2020, resolution 2025-30.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed. All right, now council decision approval resolution 2025-14 establishing a 30-day work from home limit.
And this for the language coming in.
So,
Would you like me to read the preamble?
yes, yes.
Resolution 2025-14, a resolution of the town council of the town of Eatonville, Florida, establishing a 30-day work from home limit for all employees until the town council has adopted a formal employee work from home policy, providing for conflict, severability, and an effective date.
You've heard the preamble. Is there,
You got a question?
No, I was just gonna make a suggestion about how to proceed.
thank you.
So you've got a resolution, you've read it by title, which indicates what it's about. You can, go ahead and try to craft what you actually want on the fly here in this meeting. You can instead discuss things that you all would like to see for the mayor's consideration to bring back policy that she explains about what she adopted or what she did or whatever in honor of the position she owns as being chief officer of the town. Basically the CEO of the town. You can do either one. Both of those things, if we're gonna craft a resolution, it needs to at minimum have her support. Because if she votes against it, it's going to ultimately be her policy. But if you want to provide suggestions for her to go back and consider adopting her own policy, then explaining to you what the policy is, then that's also appropriate. And if you like it as it is, adopt, as long as the mayor's on board, you're good.
I think it comes to fix purpose.
I would say take the 30-day out of it, and then that way you have some other base that you can work from. It doesn't have to be 30 days, but that will be at the discretion of the mayor as to the length of time and the requirements for to work on. Motion on the floor.
Bring-
What else you want to take up?
Well, it's not so much, I mean, if we're gonna bring one back, can we, there was one already given, right? So if we're gonna bring one back, do we need the resolution?
Let's.
She's on the
table.
Yeah,
I think we need to table it
so,
and bring the corrections back so that to amend what we want. for the
So-
next.
Right, so my suggestion to council would be, during this time, you all can individually send me your recommendations. We can draft it together, then we can send out one that we can work through, so we don't have to keep running this cycle
Yes.
over and over again. And then we'll also send you all out a draft of the hybrid, so maybe that may clear up some of the discussion areas.
And also, if we can, please, like, I talk about this all the time during meetings, especially when we bring resolutions to the floor and, to this, for an item to be, approved or what have you. Won't you have a discussion with the CEO before we actually have a meeting? That way we can be familiar with exactly what's going on, while we can make all the changes that need to be made within the grounds of whatever changes you want to make versus sitting here just going off the cuff, and especially trying to go off the cuff of putting a resolution together in a, idea of trying to do something. That doesn't make any sense. So I think we need to, dot our i's, cross our t's, before bringing things like this to the table. I'm in favor of it, Councilwoman Randolph, but if you know what you want, come with it. Instead of sitting here, going back and forth, and then we're gonna table the item, now we're tabling it, right? And then we're gonna have a discussion with the CEO based on the changes that we wanna make. So I think we just need to, stop putting the cart before the horse and make sure that we're putting down what it is exactly that we want before presenting it or putting it on the agenda, because it becomes a purpose.
all right, so I'll be rescinding the motion and second.
Yes.
Okay. Who,
I will say my second. I think a second.
all right, so is there a motion to table?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye, all opposed. All right, item has been tabled. Reports. Mr. Daniels.
Mayor, council, residents, thank y'all for this opportunity. Just quick report. It's gonna seem nothing, but it should make some sense. First item that just let you know that we've been working on is building maintenance. We know we have some maintenance issues. So staff has been directed to compile a list of all maintenance issues in buildings, and we're gonna come up with a comprehensive plan of how to address those issues. I'm proposing to the mayor and council on the next workshop on 10/21 workshop is for us to talk about the Humford property, as well as the master plan for you to be able to put your input to add into what's already been established. So if that's your desire, I'm asking for that next workshop to be that time. We'll get presentation, you'll get a great presentation to the sharks. So Vice Mayor, the objective is to have, Dave Barrios here, to have Dr. Phillips, to have the council, and whatever is the suggested master plan right now, we'll be able to add on to it to start the conversation. The idea is not for us to be behind the ball, and then when something happens, then we become reactive. I want to try to bring a proactive approach to being able to address any issues. So if that's your desire, I will move forward and set that up for the next workshop on the 21st. You all will be getting a copy of the information sent to you. We'll give you the master plan and all that stuff, and we're gonna have bigger displays blown up so we can easily be able to present it, not just the Humber property, but the whole totality of the master plan, the whole town of Eatonville. The well, Ms. Monday has stated that there's the well issue, so that will be done as emergency PO. We can't wait around on it, so as soon as we get all the documents, we're gonna go ahead and get it fixed, but then that will be an emergency issue that will be addressed. Just to let you all know, we were made aware from solid waste or Waste Pro that there will be an increase because of Orange County disposal. They have increased it 12% across the board. And then along with the CPI increase could be 3 to 5%. So we will have to change the rate for residential garbage. Just to let you all know that will be coming very soon. It'll be at the next council meeting, just to let you all know.
And commercial, don't say.
And commercial will be, so residential will be increased 15 to 17% based off of that. And commercial will be increased 44%. Okay. So, yeah, so we can talk and I'll send it. I mean, to be honest, we've been looking at the numbers with staff, with finance and all that. So if we don't do this, we're looking at anywhere from $9,000 to $10,000 a month that the town will be eating. And we can't afford for that to be in our budget. So I'll just give you the overall number, that's $120,000 roughly that we would have to pay from the town side. Currently, office staff, just to let you know, if you're taking any steps around the office, we've changed some office around. Our finance office is now being switched to this side. We're cleaning offices right now. We're getting office painted and situated. So we're shifting the office around to make them more efficient. So one suggestion that we're doing right now, y'all know currently Ms. McCoy's office is up towards the front, is putting permanent up front and cutting a window in. Me and Ms. Gibson have a great discussion about that. So now permanent will be closer to the front with a window, so we don't have to go to the back and get them and all that. It's more customer service, more efficient for us to be able to do things. So that office will hold records to be able to do a lot more things to give good customer service to our residents. File bank will be scheduled to come back out to pick up. You see there's a lot of boxes around, a lot of stuff did not get picked up. There's stuff at, PD and different places. So all that stuff will be picked up. And then Councilman Mack, you'll enjoy this. At the end of this, the conclusion of this, we're going to get rid of the pod out the back. And then any records that has passed its retention time, we're going to have a big shredder on. So we're going to be able to just go through and shred all the stuff that needs to be destroyed properly as well. Streetscape, been working with Public Works on Streetscape. We're developing a schedule to ensure that we're not missing out on our streets being clean. So they're coming up with a schedule. Within next week, we'll have a derived schedule of streets being clean, drains being clean, and all that. A whole maintenance program will be determined. And then we'll also be coming up with a plan to go through and pressure wash all the bricks on the main road and all that to ensure that our front street look appropriate. If we got trash on the ground, we're telling people it's okay to throw trash. But if we keep it clean and keep it manicured, that's a different aspect. Councilwoman Randolph, you'll enjoy this one. We've been talking about security, and I know the attorney has talked about the new law with open carry and all that. So there's some changes being made. Got a phase 1. The phase 1 is going to include the town hall, Den Johnson, and the post office. We're gonna replace some doors, some of the main exterior doors will be replaced, and the side doors going to the office area. Those will be replaced. We're upgrading the camera system. We have a new alarm system going in, and there will be card access. So council and staff will have card access, so people, if they get into a building, they won't be able to get into staff areas without having the card access. That should help. I know a question that's been asked has been evaluations. I'm proud to tell you that we are 90% complete on evaluations. 90% complete on evaluations have done, and the rest of them will be complete by next week. And that will be followed up by a merit policy. So when budget time come around, we won't have to go through the discussion of who gets what. It'll be based off of merit, not just a blanket policy. Job descriptions, we're reviewing job descriptions right now. Job descriptions, ETA is November 11th, is projected to have in y'all hand by November 11th for y'all to go through a review for job descriptions and or chart. The task we're currently working on is the reviewing the personnel manual, the hybrid policy, and electronic permitting. And just to let you know, the major events we got coming up is National Night Out, October 14th, Heritage Culture, 10/17, Trunk or Treats on 10/31. And in next week, we will start rolling out MLK. The idea is to have MLK rolling ahead of time, so we're not ready to behind the gun. Our new process is 90-60-30. 90 days out, we should be planning the event. 60 days out, we should be fine tuning. And the last 30 days is execute, not planning or nothing. And that's my report.
Thank you. All right, Councilman, is it for
Yes.
Mr. Daniels?
Yes, Mr. Daniels, you mentioned about a workshop, and this will be with who?
The workshop will be during the town council time on at 6:30 on October 21st. That'll be with the town council, Baker Barrios and Dr. Phillips. So what we would do is the plan that's been rolled out, the master plan, we would have the opportunity to add into it. So what we're trying to do is facilitate this to keep the ball rolling on what needs to be accomplished and really be able to put our feedback more and more into it.
Okay, I just have a concern about that. I think as a council, I think we need to meet on our own without them until we ourselves review the plan and we have an opinion or review as to what we want to see, and then we come back and then we sit to the table. I think that's the best, to me, that's the best way that I would handle this, because I don't want to be influenced by something that I feel that I may not agree with, but I want to give the council, we already been at a disadvantage having a voice at the table. This whole process in the last 2 weeks have already demonstrated that here in this community. So we need to have, I want to hear the voices of the council members, and they should be able to hear my voice. And I think that's the approach that I feel will be fair. And that way we can sit down and talk about it and be open about it. And then, if possible, we invite them, or either they come to us, or whatever way it's going to be. And also in this process, I like to make sure that the Historic Preservation Board is aware of this, and they should have a seat at the table as well. That is so important, being a historic town, and we take so much pride in Eatonville that we need to show our showmanship as far as what we stand for and what we are. So we don't really need, in a way, I'm saying in a nice way, for them to tell us what we need. We need to tell them what we want. So I just think it needs to be like a 50-50 kind of concept here, but we need to get 100% involvement among the council members first before we meet with anyone.
But let me echo something. The sad thing is, to this day, I don't have a plan, whatever they have, when they present it. Because none of these board members have a plan, but it was just the MOU, that's all we have. So I feel kind of like disrespected on that end there, because we don't have what they had showing at Orange County School Board. And that's my biggest thing. Just give us what you had forward. This meeting here should have been before the 21st, honestly. But I understand the reason and all that kind of stuff there, but I think it's just a big, I think it's just been a big mess up somewhere, you know, because I think it should have been way before.
So if I'm hearing the consensus of what you all said, you all would like to see a draft copy of the master plan that town prepared, sent to you all. And you all would like to have the meeting on the 21st, between the town council and the residents of the historic town of Eatonville, if that's what I'm hearing.
Well, we don't even have, we have not even approved a master plan. Yeah, that is not even been on the table. And so we're missing a whole step here. And I want to make sure that on a fair basis, that we represent the town of Eatonville. So it should be based upon what we want and what we evaluate to us, what's important to us, not what's important to them.
Okay, so what I'm hearing again is we'll prepare and give you all the draft. Then the town council will give their input and their observation on what they would like to see added to that or on that property. And then we'll bring in Baker Barrios and Dr. Phillips Charities at another time to incorporate what was determined by this board to them. If that's what I'm hearing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even with the planner need to be involved in this.
The planner will be involved in all that. So we'll ensure that staff is here as support and resources, but you all will lead on that area. But what I would ask is if you all prior to that meeting, because we only have so much time, I would ask that we can start a running document that will be shared amongst all of you all on what your input will be, so then we can compile it and then we can be able to run with it a lot faster and facilitate through. Instead of coming here and everybody start scribbling what they want, we can have a working document that we can work through. If I can ask that to you all.
Now, I think that when we do this workshop or this presentation, that should be the only thing that should, because we always try to run out of time and we're not to have any other items on the agenda. We need to use that full time that we need to talk about this and to discuss what we need and not to be rushed.
Right, so kind of a plan I was thinking of was for you all to have that discussion. And then maybe we save the last, because the public is still entitled to comment as well.
Thank you.
So it would be that you all will start off first, and then attorney, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you can move public participation, public discussion at the end. Yeah, so that, to me, that'll be the most efficient way of doing it, and then we'll adjust it by then.
Oh, yeah, but I heard a thank you out here.
It was from me.
That's fine, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. We're not trying to circumvent public participation. All I'm saying is that whole hour, we need to have more time to discuss. And then, you will come up and do what you normally do, for the public participation. Of course, we want our residents to participate. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we're gonna go with Attorney Shepherd.
Oh, okay. I didn't have anything to report. I'm just gonna make a suggestion, which you do not have to decide. I'm just gonna make that for the purposes of Mr. Daniels. And that is, you may want to have, even if it's not anybody from Baker Barrios, you might want to have Tara or somebody who at least can speak confident about planning. The reason I say this is because of my own inadequacies. A lot of the stuff I saw on the paper, I don't even know what I'm looking at. And so if I could have that's a pretty picture. If that's essentially what I see, because I don't know what they're trying to tell me. I can read the text. I'm good at reading. I'm not really good at looking at a picture like an engineer drawing and trying to figure out what the heck is going on here. So you might want to consider whether someone like Tara, you don't want Baker Barrios, someone who can at least say, what does that mean? And answer that question confidently as to what it means. But I don't know.
Yes, sir. And I've already had a conversation with the planner, so our resources will be there available.
Thank you.
One more request, please, Mr. Daniels, I think it's very important. I think it's very important for something as critical as the Hungerford property. We need to have a specialized land attorney. And there's no disrespect to Mr. Shepherd.
I am that.
The land,
That's different than the reading.
but I mean, is it, okay, I would just listen to what you were saying.
No, I do land use all the time. It is what I do, but land use is a
Okay.
whole different thing. I'm talking about looking at a set of drawings.
Okay.
With little
Okay.
green spots here and red spots, and by the way, I'm colorblind, that's also doesn't help. So, you know, I don't know when I'm looking at a drawing as opposed to reading text, what it's supposed to be telling me about what they're trying to, if they're trying to do massing here, what does that mean? Does that mean 3 stories, 6 stories?
Okay,
What does that mean? So I'm suggesting that someone who is a planner, it's not about the law part, it's the planning part. What is this drawing supposed to be telling us? That's what I'm saying.
okay, I understand.
All right, Councilman, we're gonna.
Councilman? Well, first of all, thank everybody for coming out being engaged in town business. I got a great appreciation for everybody that want to be involved in what's going on in our community. First of all, I'm looking forward to all the different events coming in to the town as far as the Eatonville Police Department National Day, which will be taking place October 14th. Looking forward to participating in that. I know we got other events going on with the Chamber of Commerce that I'm also looking forward to participating in. I do apologize for not being able to make your last one. I was out of town, so feel like you guys had a really good time. So I look forward to definitely attending the next one. Also, I think we're gonna be having the trunk or treat for the recreation department, which will be taking place October 31st. Definitely looking forward to that. I know my kids look forward to that, even though I don't celebrate Halloween. But I know that's a safe haven and having our community, especially our kids, going out and participating in. So you guys having a small kid, it's a great event. So if you want to look forward to having a good time, I advise you to bring the kids up for that also. And if all hearts and minds are clear, my condolences to anybody that have suffered any loss in this community or any other community. I know we're losing people at a rapid rate. And you know, one thing about it, we all gotta go that direction. So my prayers and thoughts are with anybody that have suffered any loss. And I know we've had quite a bit of funerals within the town of Eatonville. So my thoughts and prayers are with you all. And also, I tell you, doesn't nothing make me more satisfied and gratified to see someone not just have the ability to do the job as CAO, but also be from this community, sit in this capacity. And I'm praying and hoping that he does fulfill the need of, you know, permanently filling that seat instead of just being the interim, which he's fulfilling now. And I don't know exactly how many days it's been, but look at the significance of changes that he's made already. And the trajectory that you're going on, man, I'm definitely flattered, satisfied, and I know you're gonna do great things sitting in that seat right there. Just continue doing what you do. And I'll salute to you, man. Also, I know we had an opportunity to speak about the budget being amended for the deputy chief officer. I definitely recommend that we do amend that and come to, you know, some kind of conclusion on why we're gonna amend it while spreading the money amongst all the officers that have been here, the seasoned officers that have been here. And now that I think about it, think about the people that are just not joining the force and the ones that have been here 20+ years and they're only making maybe a couple of $1,000s off from what the actual person that just started off. That's a problem. And I think we need to fix that sooner than later. So those are my thoughts on that. I definitely want to make sure that we're pushing forward to putting the funds where exactly where they need to be at and not discrediting anyone else as far as being the deputy chief for the time. But I think we need to spread that money abroad with our officers that are serving in this community right now and that are doing a great job at doing it. So to all the officers, I salute you guys for doing what you do on a daily basis also. And to all the presentations tonight, as far as the historic survey kickoff project that was presented to us tonight,
looking forward to that. There's a lot of interesting things that I heard tonight, concerning the community and how things are gonna be mapped out and planned. Even with the idea of having, the, Dr. Phillips, Foundation charity, possibly be a part of what we got going on. I know I'm not in a happy place, but at the end of the day, I'm willing to work with anybody to satisfy the needs of not just myself, but this community and especially the citizens in this community. And let me backtrack to what one of the citizens said today while she set up on this podium. I know you spoke about, you don't like the way I spoke to Mayor Gardner. Last time I recall, I didn't say anything disrespectful to Mayor Gardner. As a matter of fact, before I started my speech, I told her I got great respect for you, and she could probably vouch for that, and that's on record. God says it's okay to be angry, it's okay to be mad, disappointed. I was all those things last Tuesday, and I can tell you this right here: I work for you. I work for every citizen in here, and what I'm gonna do with every bone in my body is protect this town at all costs. That's what I sworn to do. That's what I sworn to do, and that's what I will continue to do. I know it's gonna be a lot of times where people don't like things you say, they don't like the idea of how you're doing things, but that's what this podium is for. And I got a great appreciation for people that do express how they feel about whether it's council or the town or what's going on as far as business wise. But these are the opportunities that people have to come up here and do the due diligence in terms of just expressing themselves. And I will say this, as disappointed I am with some of the administrative things that have gone on. I must say that, you know, overall, you guys do a great job. I got a great appreciation for what you do on a daily basis because I know how important your job is, not only for, you know, the sake of you just having a job, but for this community especially. If I didn't feel that way, I wouldn't give you the raise or even recommended that you had a raise that you've gotten. And that's a significant amount of money that I approve. So for anybody to sit here and say that I don't care about administration, go and question yourself and look at your own integrity on how you approach things when you're approaching people, especially me, having integrity. So I pride myself on that. And also with the opportunity that we had to approve for the park for Miss Webb. And I can't speak enough on how gracefully she have, you know, modified my life and made my life the way it is now, but just, you know, being the person that I am and being the pioneer that she is in this community and doing the things that she's done on a daily basis. Ever since I've been about 4 or 5 years old, I can't make this up. And I got a great appreciation for her. I got a great appreciation for her family and everything that they stand for. So I couldn't value anybody besides her reaping the opportunity to have that park named after her. So salute to you, Miss Webb, if you're watching, and thank you for everything that you've done important to my life. And also, I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Listen, and I'm gonna say this in closing. I have no right with Dr. Phillips Foundation Charity. Let's make that, nor Baker and Barrel or anybody else that's associated with trying to help this town. Because as far as I'm concerned, even with OCPS, as disappointed as I was in the decision making, sometimes people make decisions based off of things that they've heard, but at the same time, I make my decision based off of my conviction coming from the man upstairs, and I can't, you know, tell anybody else how to make their decisions, just like OCPS made their decision. I think we're gonna have to live with it. There's nothing we can do about it at this point. But I think we need to be diligent enough to move forward. And I am, because I'm a leader in this community, to make sure that we're moving forward. We're working with Dr. Phillips Foundation. We're working with Baker and Barrel. We're working with all the association partners that are going to be associated with helping us drive this thing home. Because I want to see things in this community. I'm tired of sitting here the last 15 years watching nothing. Because that's basically what we've been doing, watching nothing. We have an opportunity to do something of a lifetime here. And I hear all your voices. I hear all the citizens' voices. I hear everybody's voices. They have an opportunity to speak tonight. But like I told you before, I speak for the voices. I got to do my job as a leader. That's what I do. And that's what I will continue to do moving forward. And I look forward to the success that Eatonville is going to have moving forward. And if all minds and hearts are clear, that's my report. God bless.
Good evening. Thank everybody for coming out. I want to take this opportunity to thank the Vice Mayor because about maybe 6 or 7 years ago is where I can verify that I wanted to name the tennis courts after her. And she was ecstatic about it. I don't want to go into detail of what I experienced, but I did experience, I would say, pushback. And to keep the, I guess, confusion down, I backed off. But in the end, God knows best. And now the Vice Mayor came, and now she has the whole block instead of the tennis courts. She has the whole block now. So she's well deserved. Just like Councilman Mack said, I can remember all the summers with her and her program. But Ms. Johnson did say something that I would like to. What happens if you do the research and find out that it's documented that it's named Elizabeth Park? Then what do you do? I think sometimes we do put the cart before the horse. And I think maybe we should have just waited a little bit. We know our intent. We know we want to honor this wedding, but we should have got the verification first before, we approve this, just so we don't have to backtrack on that. Of course not. But we're gonna, once they take care of that, then she'll have the whole park instead of the tennis courts named after her. Also, I want to, I made it out to the school board meeting. Knowing after hearing the first session, I knew that their minds were made up on what they were going to do. I think they had a misconception of what we were saying when we were not, or when we were saying that we wasn't at the table. I don't know if anybody saw me, but I did make a couple of charrettes as well. Put my input in on what I thought should be in the town. But I also thought that after that, Baker Barrios, whomever doing the charrette should have came and brought some ideas on what can possibly make us thrive as far as bringing the tax base up. What I mean by that, examples of, okay, maybe you should get a gas station, grocery store, da-da-da. Maybe you should get apartments, da-da-da-da. These are all just examples of to give us ideas on what we can put in our community on that land to generate revenue. That was always my idea on having these charrettes. They should bring ideas that can give us the examples of what can make a Black community thrive and bring in revenue. I think the misconception came was that we wanted to be at the table at the MOU process of talking. And a lot of people say, I feel you on that one, because instead of $1 million, maybe we as a board would say, give us $1.5 million, give us $2 million. We just wanted to be at the table at the MOU process. And I think board member, I think Ferret, you were saying, you guys had an opportunity to come, you didn't do this and that, but she didn't understand that we were not at the table during the MOU process. So I just wanted to make that clear. We do feel disrespect, but we are in anticipation of seeing what this administration can do to bring the ideas to us, to make our community thrive and, make that land, get that land up and running. This gentleman here, we haven't, during eager politics, you hear a lot of y'all messing up, y'all doing this, y'all doing that. It is refreshing to hear an idea from somebody that we've never seen or never known to come and give us kudos. Thank you, sir, for that. It is refreshing for some of us that was just, man, this thing is getting kind of tedious, but to hear that we are doing a good job and that we can make this happen and that people on the outside don't see our dirty laundry, but they see how we keep our house clean. I appreciate that so much. Thank you, sir, for bringing that. And I think that was my report, guys, and have a great night.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for coming out. I do have a couple of things that I would like to go over. First of all, the meetings on the property. I just want to make sure that everybody have an understanding about some things that were questioned. And I happened to send 9 questions to both to the attorney Shepherd and also to CAO, Mr. Presley. And I'm going to go over this, and I'm going to make it not long, but I just want to give you the facts. I asked these questions to each person. Mr. Presley, how did the mayor make an agreement with or without the council members' knowledge? The answer to that question was no agreement has been made. The MOU is under consideration by OCPS, and the mayor has expressed support for this direction, but no binding decision has been executed. The same question to Attorney Shepherd. The MOU does not list the town as a party, and the MOU could proceed at least potentially without the town's agreement. It's, it is my understanding that the mayor supports the concept, but as far as I know, there is no agreement with the town. Okay. The second question, what was to Mr. Presley? What was your role in representing the mayor? What was your role in representing the town council members? The answer, the mayor represented herself in this matter. Once the draft MOU appeared to move forward, it was referred to Attorney Shepherd for review. My involvement was, I did not represent the council in this process. Okay? Mr. Shepherd answered. I had no role in the preparation or negotiation of the MOU. I was sent a draft that you may have been provided on Saturday and reviewed it over the weekend. I only can represent the town, not individual council members, and I did not represent the mayor to the extent that she took part in any discussions leading up to the draft MOU between Orange County School Board and the Dr. Phillips Foundation. I was not involved in any discussions resulting in a draft MOU. Third question to Mr. President. What was your role in negotiating with the school board of Orange County? The answer, Mr. President, I had no role in negotiating. My involvement was limited to sharing potential pathways in early discussion. Same question to Attorney Shepherd. I don't know enough about this proposal that came out to offer an opinion on this issue, but I can generally favor information being shared with all of the elected officials when possible. Whenever it could be the Dr. Phillips Foundation or the Orange County Public School are both requested confidentiality until something was in writing. I simply don't know the background for this proposal. Fourth question, as to Mr. President, as Chief Administration Officer, confirmed by the Town Council, do you think that we and our residents should have known about this ahead of time rather than on television? The answer by Mr. President, this matter only came to potential last week, but I was asked to keep the matter confidential until something was concrete to share. The stakeholders meeting on Monday was the first opportunity to present the information before the public release. Same question to Attorney Shepherd. As far as I know, there has been no decision in either Orange County or Dr. Phillips, as the MOU is just a proposal between both parties. But no, I had no role in the proposal between Orange County and Dr. Phillips. I assume that I have some role moving forward if the parties move forward. But that is up to the council and the mayor. Fifth question. Were you a part of the decision and advice? This question, Mr. Presley. The MOU is still under consideration. No decision has been made at this time. The next question to Mr. Shepherd, the same question, not until yesterday. It's when he became aware. Got 4 more questions. Were you aware that the town council had no knowledge of this? Mr. President replied, yes, I was aware. Okay. Mr. Shepherd response was, I would assume not. I don't know for sure because I don't provide such notices. Question number 7 to Mr. Presley. Is this the regular procedure for the town council to be notified? Mr. Presley answered, in this case, confidentiality was requested until it became a viable proposal. It was not intended to bypass the council, but to ensure accurate information was available before presentation. Same question to Attorney Shepherd. Again, as far as I know, the mayor has made no decision other than she personally supports the general concepts contained in the MOU. But since the town is not a party to the MOU and may not become a party, I am uncertain there will be a decision for the council to make. If the town does become a party, then yes, the council, not the mayor alone, would need to make that decision. Okay. Number 8, does our charter, to Mr. President, allow the mayor to make decisions such as this without the council's decision? Answer, Mr. President. Respond. No final decision will be made by the mayor or council, mainly because the property is owned by Orange County Public Schools. Same question to Attorney Shepard. As stated above, I don't know enough about this proposal that came about to offer an opinion on this issue, but I favor information being shared with all of the elected officials when possible. However, there could be circumstances of which I am unaware that influence the decision on when the proposal would be made public. Last question, Mr. President. Do you think that the council should have known? Answer. Yes, ideally. The council would have been informed once the matter becomes concrete enough to warrant full review. In this case, confidentiality and timing prevented earlier communication. Attorney Shepard. Leaving on the line did not get on his page. Okay. Okay, but anyway, I just wanted you all to, everyone just to see exactly the role that the attorney and the CAO had about this matter. And I know there's been a lot of dissatisfaction about how it was done, but the problem was that it's not so much of all of this, but it was that we did not know. And I think in the future, the things that need to happen, and that is we need to assure, and I just want to make everyone be aware of this, because some people don't know. The mayor cannot execute a contract without the town council. She cannot, no one can. No one, no mayor cannot execute a contract without the town council. So when people are saying this and that and the other, this has to come before the body of Eatonville as the officials who are sitting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including the mayor. Everybody here has one vote, not two. No one overrides anything. The vote is always in favor of 3+ or whatever, 3, 2, 4, 1 or whatever. It's the majority of the votes that count on this council. And I want you all to start watching for that and start really learning exactly how the process works here. Nobody takes charge of anything here. We all are equal when it comes down to voting and the things that has to come before the town when it comes down to these matters. Okay, now I'm going to move on with that because Mr. Daniels had already is going to work on some other issues that we need to talk about to get involved. Now, I do have some other concerns, and I'll make these very brief without going into a long explanation. I still have the issue with the timing of getting information. An event happened on October the 3rd. I get a notice from media, our administrative assistant, an hour and a half before the event. To me, that's unacceptable. Okay. This needs to be corrected and turned around. And this is not the first time. We received multiple in the past of events and things going on, and we don't get it until like the 2 days before, sometimes the day of. Mr. Daniels and I attended a school board meeting within the last, when was it, about 7 or 8 months ago. We got the notice an hour before the scheduled meeting. I rushed down to my car, and it was about the hunger for property. So I'm just saying this, I'm just sharing this with you. Administration, this needs to be correct. not telling you how to do your job, but we deserve respect. Okay, next is, the other issue that I'm going to mention is we're having I requested that some issues to be straightened out concerning, leave time of one of our administrative employees that's on leave right now, to make sure that we receive the accuracy for vacation time, the annual leave time that is due. And, I'm talking specifically to our CAO that's on leave right now. The calculations I sent in today are not right, because the calculations grant more leave than what was earned. So that has to be corrected. Also, I want to make mention that, the pool, does anyone know the seasonal dates for the pool, when the pool closes during the winter months? Do we have that information?
Councilwoman, I will get that information up to you, by tomorrow.
Okay, now, another issue is that have we set a policy, we're back to policy again, on the use of vehicles in the town? Because we just received for two vans. Are we gainfully and have enough coverage or liability for transportation?
So, Councilwoman, and that's my fault for not mentioning that in my report. I'm proud to say that there is new policy in effect, and half of our fleet has been tracked with GPS now. I signed that last week, and the other half we put with GPS within the next week or two. So that should help with insurance and being able to track and mileage and everything.
Okay, and how much insurance do we have on our vehicles, you know?
Councilwoman, I do not have that on hand, but I will get that information to you as well on that. But I will tell you that all the vehicles have been checked to ensure that there's enough proper coverage, and there is a new policy that will be rolling out in reference to vehicle usage.
Okay, I also have, three more concerns, and that is that, at the school board meeting, it was mentioned that I've only attended a couple meetings. And I just want to make it known for the record, and that is there were 8 meetings, I attended 7 meetings. So it's a couple means to me 2. So I attended more than 2. I attended 7 meetings out of 8 meetings. At the, no, on the master plan, the master plan.
It was strategy of the stakeholder meeting,
Yeah, no, the master plan meeting.
the stakeholder meeting.
So the master plan meetings that we had here at Macedonia.
The stakeholder, right?
No,
No, that's fine.
no.
Thank you, Mario.
Yeah, yeah, some of the people here attended, all of the meetings. Yes. Yes. But Mayor, I just wanted to just make that correction. I attended more than a couple. I attended 7 meetings. Also, I just want to say that I appreciate everyone. And also there's a trip going to Royal, Florida. Royal, Florida is a Black community over near Wildwood. It was founded in 1865. The difference between Royal and Eatonville is that we are incorporated in 1887. And they're a Black community. So anyone that's interested in going, the trip is on November the 8th. And if you're interested in going, want information, you can see me afterwards. Other than that, another thing too is I want to be sure that we talked about what Mr. Daniels had said about the increase. But when are we going to resolve the issue with the water? We have some pending issues that still have not been addressed on the increase of the rates of the water.
Councilwoman, I think it was 2 weeks ago, Ms. Gibson, I've instructed staff to run a report for those 3 months time period. And we'll be getting all that data, and we'll be analyzed, and we'll be bringing it back to council for consideration on what we found out when we did the evaluation.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. You, everyone have a nice, beautiful night, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Vice Mayor.
I got one question to Councilwoman. You supposed to be updating us on these meetings. You talk about master plan, you ain't coming to us with that? Oh, wow, you holding back too. Yeah, you holding back.
We all.
Yeah. But thank you for going to those meetings. I
Tell you, that's kind of what we do on our.
was supposed to give a report, so we're gonna get some doctor time. Sorry for coming out tonight. I do want to talk about the school board, but at this moment, I'm talking about emails I've been getting about police officers in our town. These false emails from you getting that come to your emails that's not true. I talked to Chief about one of them, and that didn't go well. I mean, that didn't go to anywhere, but one of them did back in the past. This person had to pay for an attorney to get his name cleared. So, and he was put on the Brady list, all this kind of stuff here to get his stuff cleared. So I would like for us to try to look at this case for reimbursement for his fault. And then he did win the case about everything was fraudulent. So I would like for us to look at this, get reimbursed some of his funds that he paid to get his name cleared. So that's, I will get this file that he gave me to CAO, look into it at a later date. Thanks for Ms. Ware and the family. Like I said, that was my block when I grew up. You can, when your mom want to find you, she just go to that block. Okay, people got whoopings out there on that block. Yeah, basketball, trust me, people got whoopings out on that block. And when basketball time, you know, when you play basketball on that one court, you know, your name was stand on the wall. When you get your butt whooped, stand on the wall. So, you know, but that block mean a lot. I mean, I can tell you some stories about that block, like Sandlot football, when the pool, when we opened the pool up that year. Martin Luther King Sr. came, did a speech at one more Tech. When we opened the pool, Secret Service drove around, we running behind the cars. Them days there, I'm like, look, I mean, I can remember those days at that block. I remember the days when the pool was being built. I remember days drum corps with Miss Ware. So, like I said, I thank her being what she did in the youth, helped me growing up in Eatonville, because I know she saved a lot of lives. We were not there doing crazy things that people doing today, kids are doing. So we stayed busy with the tennis, drum corps, Sandlot basketball, Sandlot football, all that good stuff. Barbecuing out there. So we're gonna, like I said, one of the clauses in the resolution is severability clause in the resolution. If something going on with that with Elizabeth, we'll fix that. So make sure that's the first thing I said when I said anything. Make sure it's not a resolution with that part being named, because I know we just name things in town like that's this right here, and with no paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Like cemetery, no paperwork. We just know but was there, but let's put an ordinance resolution on that property saying this is what it was. So we know nobody can touch it like that. And on the school board property, one thing I heard at the end when general counsel said we was working out a deal for $1 lease. $1 lease deal. But what he said was nobody brought no presentation to the table. He said nobody brought anything to it. So I don't know how true that is, but I wish we could have stayed with the $1 lease deal. But he did mention
It is not true. I'll just leave it right there.
Okay, cool. Because he did mention like he had something on the table with a $1 lease.
Yeah, there is, because I drafted it.
They had to deal with it.
I sent it to them. They've never sent anything back.
See what I'm saying? So we, like I said, it was on the table. We could have gotten the $1 lease deal. But like I said, they dropped that ball and went to another ball. So that's all I have tonight, guys. Enjoy tonight. Taco Tuesday.
Congratulations, Eatonville Chairman. Thank you, Vice Mayor. And also, I gotta say this for Miss Gregg. Miss Gregg does a tremendous amount of work. She was helping cover and permitting that October 3rd date, and I just have to say this because she's not here. It had been mentioned several times. She just had so much going on that it got on Facebook, but the date had already been out there and had been mentioned several times before. But I want to say she's had a lot on her plate. So in her absence, I do want to say it definitely was not intentional, but she got to it when she could. I do have a statement about the law enforcement adjustment. If we're looking at $67,000, I think that was the amount, and if the fund is 100,000, we're off what, about 33,000. perhaps that is something that the officers can decide. Do you want more money into your retirement to bring that percentage up, if it's enough to bring it up? Or do you want income spread out? So maybe that's something that they can come back with, because if we are discussing 67,000, we might as well discuss 33,000 more and put more into that retirement line. So that, I mean, that would be something. With that being said, everyone drive.
That's my question.
Yeah, wait.
Climax want to perform it, like 1% of Climax want to perform tonight.
Give her a mic.
1% want to come down. That's all.
Everyone drive carefully. With that being said, I move for adjournment. If there was a second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. It's 9:06.
Next meeting, I'm gonna need that. Next meeting, I'm gonna need it. You, it was so good. Oh, my phone, get the email. That's all right. Okay.